Hi, everyone. I know you're waiting patiently for me. So I don't know what to tell you. My charts are just not loading. I think it's all this volatility. I've got the number of days reduced. I've been waiting here for a while now. This is the same problem I had last week, or pardon me, the week before, and I thought everything was resolved, but so far, nothing. So bear with me here a little bit. Yeah, Ryman says, I for one have removed my charts. I've not had enough time to put my charts back to normal. You know, if I could just get it to load, actually, you know what I'm going to try to do? I am going to, let's see if I can kill the connection here. And what I'll do is I'll just put one chart up. Surely to goodness, I'll be able to load one chart. No, it won't even let me do the connection. That is what I will do, though. That should work. Yeah, like Ray says, you can't do that because your charts are loading already. I knew. Kind of stuck in the loop right now. Well, that's one way to avoid trading opening range. Well, I'm making some progress. It's only been, what is it now, about half an hour since the charts have been trying to load. Hey, way to go, Jay. Jay giving me a little encouragement here. He says, my machine is new and fast. I can't get NQ to load either. ES and crude will. I guess too much info for the NQ to load. Well, that apparently is the problem. I've been talking to Ben about this, and he says that's the only thing that's wrong. There's just far too much data. What you can see, I've already scaled back here on the charts. I've taken off the Bollinger Band suite that I had at the bottom, and I've reduced the number of days to load. However, for some of the features like the support and resistance lines, I have to have at least 10 days of data loading. And that is obviously putting a bit of a cramp in everything here. So I totally understand. Ray has already left. He says, I'm going to go work on my charts. Honestly, even once my charts do load, given the amount of volatility that we've seen over the last couple of weeks, we're probably not going to have any real trades today unless it is like the perfect setup. Because I think what we're going to see is a lot of back and forth, a lot of whipsawing, which is not unusual. That I shared with you yesterday. I know we only kept the room open for a few minutes yesterday, but this is the stock indice equivalent of a limit move. Yesterday, you know, the monster gap down out of the open. This morning, we've got I can see from some of the data that's loading, you know, the open was somewhere probably around 82.25 or so. Oh, see, I don't even have enough data on the charts here. I've got to have, but we're not going to worry about that right now. So I won't have the support and resistance lines. But we're going to have a monster gap to the upside. Look at all these bars already. Look at the timestamps here at the bottom. Anytime your timestamp is displaying in seconds, sit on your hands. Look at all this data. Poor computer. Oh, I think it's finally caught up. Wow, that took about 45 minutes. Wow, unreal. Well, what I'm going to do for future rooms until things get civilized here is I'm only going to display the one chart. But at least we have a chart. And everything seems to be working, so I am not going to mess with it. Here is the problem. Huge volatility, huge move lower yesterday. And most of this was the opening gap. Yesterday's session, when I reviewed it later, there were big ranges, but it really didn't, excuse me, end up going anywhere or not too far. And now what we're looking at, or what we try to look at, is we try to look at volume relative to the bars. So here again, we have one of these anomalies. We have a huge bar and very, very light volume. What does that tell us? Well, that tells us there wasn't very much trading going on yesterday to produce such a large bar, not a lot of participation. It may lead to some support, a little bit of a rebound. I think if we get above 8,400, we're going to see at least a little bit of a rally, maybe back here to around 8,700. And long term, I think, looking at all this congestion up here, I think 95, 96 is not out of the question. We got that little itty bitty gap right there at 94. That's going to need filling eventually. All right, let's put that away. I'm not even going to bother reviewing all the bars since the open, because it's just going to be nuts. You could build a larger chart, with so much volatility. Like I said, whenever well, you can't see it on this, but whenever your time stamps start producing in seconds, like they did back here, you could build a larger brick chart. Oh, I do have enough days loading. I didn't think I was going to have my support and resistance lines. Oh my, look at the ranges between the support and resistance lines. But instead of an 8-tick brick, you could build like a 20-tick brick. That would give you a different look. Okay, right now it appears as we're having a little bit of a bull push. We got a monster gap to the downside, which I don't know if we're going to see that fill today. Honestly, if the market stalls on this run up, it does open up the possibility to a downside move. The ranges are scary though. Anything that we do today will definitely be recommended you do in sim. We got a number 3 signal and a huge second push on it. Yeah, and the Falcon is going to move too fast now too. I was going to say, here's a trend line touch signal, just your basic trend change signal. Oh, baby, there's another number 3 signal. Oh, actually, that had pretty decent follow through to it. I'm still not sure which way the market wants to go this morning. Whether we are going to trend higher, that's the hardest part in trading, is determining trend. Once you have trend, the rest is pretty straightforward because you just stay with trend. Determining trend, however, that's the tricky part. Especially when you're just a little guy and you don't want to, have thousands of dollars at risk. Yeah, see, big run up. Now here we go with the big move lower. Oh, baby, look at that go. All right, well, you know what? We're going to get a number 1 signal to short here, and I will take a look at it. Ooh. I'm going to have to just anticipate the signal and set it up this way because things are moving just a little bit too fast. And given all the volatility, I'm going to go for a bigger profit. So here now, the number 1 signal you can see has printed. Followed up by a number 3 signal. Okay, all right. So first order of business, get that exit order in. I don't care where you put it, just make sure you have an exit order. Okay, let's get those stops down. Let's get those stops down a little more. And a little more. Oh, is it going to let me? Okay, I better leave well enough alone here. Oh, don't tell me there's a report at the top of the hour. Oh, got tagged. Well, that was surprisingly well behaved. Maybe some of the volatility is easing. Oh, here we go now with the buys. Shoot, there was a big number 2 signal right there. Gonna get a number 1 signal to buy now somewhere. Given what's been going on, if that were my real money trade for the day, the one that I just did, I would be tickled pink and I would pack up my toys and go do something else right now. Oh, baby, look at that one, number one signal go. Okay, am I going to be too late on it here? I'm going to look at doing this second push opportunity on this number 3 signal. And again, we'll just throw in an exit order up here somewhere. We're doing everything on the fly here today. Okay, that's retreated far enough that we can take that off of the table. We have a nice test of the extreme. I would consider something resembling a number 2 signal. Okay, we're going to get an early number 1 signal here, perhaps. Oh, there it is right there, early number 1 signal. There's the proper number 1 signal. Okay, I'm going to get the exit order out of the way here for the time being. Nope. Okay, no harm, no foul on that. What I was looking at here is the reason I drew these trend lines across here is very often on a breach of a trend line, the market decides it's going to push back. But that was not the case. Ooh, am I going to miss that number one signal? Doggone it, looks like maybe I am. Shoot, there it goes. Too far now. Very nice follow through on that number one signal. So things are moving too fast. You got to give yourself a little bit of slack here. But the fact that the market did not want to continue lower after that rather substantial push to the downside, I was looking for an opportunity to get to the long side, but it just unfolded too fast. If you were a little quicker than I was, at number one signal had some very, very good follow through to it. Okay, here's a tempting looking number three second push opportunity. So again, I'm going to, okay, order is filled, bring the exit order up. And I'm going to be relatively quick with my stops here. Come on, give me that one bar, you stinkers. One bar, just one, there we go. So we're 3/4 of the way to the profit target. Ooh, and we hit the profit target. Thank you very much. Whew. Wow, talk about having to be a sniper today. It's almost like you got to wait for a little bit of a lull in the action. Oh, that has some very nice follow through to it too. It's almost as though you have to wait for a little bit of a lull in trading so that you can pick your moments. So the trend is up, right? I'm really focusing on which way the bands are stacked. I'm going to avoid counter trend signals in spite of, you know, some very, very good, very, very fast moves lower. Here comes another one. Wow. Look at the follow through on that. Now, in all honesty, after our number 3 signal, I would not have had any desire to try to ride out a swing like this. But had you had the nerve and the constitution, look at that incredible move. Just here in the span of about 3 or 4 minutes, we've managed to, well, a good 25 points. That's 100 ticks, folks. Hey, good morning, Aspen. Aspen says, good morning, Eric. I just joined in. My observation is the market pulls down a lot and then moves up. You need bigger risk to absorb that pull. No money to take that risk. Yes, sir. The volatility through the roof here the last few weeks. Just a little FYI. If you always need a contingency plan as a trader. You should always think, what will I do if I get locked out of the market? What will I do if I'm on the wrong side of a trade and I can't get out? So normally a market like the NASDAQ does not have limit moves to it. It will resume trading at some place. Depending where your fill will be, well, that's a whole other story. But what people forget is that the option market continues to trade even if the stock market gets halted, or if you're trading commodities like soybeans or feeder cattle or whatever. If there's a limit move in those markets and the market is actually closed, the option market is still trading. So if you find yourself in a in a bad position, you can look to offset it with an option. You can spend a few $100s. Well, depending how close to the money you want to be, you may end up in a market like this showing out a few thousand, but it will offset your risk. or your exposure. Well, 82.50. 82.25. I believe this is where we were looking, where the market started the day. Give or take a couple of ticks. All right, so here we got a couple signals to the downside. Let's see if we come back. Actually, you know what? Again, because it's moving so fast, I'm just going to park an order. And I will set a profit order, just very arbitrary profit order. Oh, okay, maybe not. Let's close that out. And here now the number one order. Ooh, it's gonna run away on me. Doggone it. Okay, let's get that. Number one order. Oh, okay. First order of business. Stop loss. Okay, now we can throw in a profit order. Yeah. Well, you knew that was coming. And this is why you definitely would not want to overtrade on a day like today. Look at those swings. Those are stop hunting swings. Not fair. Not fair. Oh, and here we go, breaking down into second increments again on the chart, which is a sign that it's a market best avoided right now, at least for a few more minutes. I'm going to be too late here, but I'm going to take a look at shorting if we get below this low. Actually, we'll do that. There we go. So it's the second push on this number one signal. Okay, again, first order business. Let's get that stop loss in. And let's throw in profit order down here somewhere. So all I'm doing is I'm watching the market go back and forth. And when we get these little tests of the extreme, these little hesitations that perhaps the market does not want to continue. Actually, let's try to run this out a bit. That the market no longer wants to continue in one direction, then I get excited about a trade possibility. So I'm just watching the bars unfold. And I'm looking here. Okay, it breached highs and then there was no follow through. It came lower, breached a low, gave me a number one signal with the second push opportunity, held the high. So there's a reasonable expectation the market should try to head lower from there, which it did. And that's good because that little move would have offset that other loss that I had. So I'm still in the black on the day. Wow, craziness. Well, look at that one go. I actually considered that number one signal for the same reason that I just explained to you, that the rally up held. It was a lower high relative to this back here. This is essentially the market testing this resistance area. And then they failed, came back with the number one signal. I was just about to mention it, and then it kind of went down here. And, well, it was too far at that point. But what a move. Look at that one. This signal right here after this number two signal is actually a number three signal. It did not print as a number three because we're just one tick shy of the hard edge, but that is in fact what it is, or was. Um, again, I was a little bit gun shy about pointing it out. We'll see though. Pardon me, we should get one more decent signal here. Oh, are you kidding me? Come on, play nice. I'm afraid the bottom's going to fall out without giving me another opportunity to get in. Well, I could put my just in case order to short down there, couldn't I? There we go. Now I got the bottom end covered, just in case it comes unstuck to the short side. I can have my profit order. See, look, we're going back toward the median line. Okay, so here now are our number 3 signal, the hard edge bounce. I'm already prepared for it, and I don't think it's going to happen. Oh, maybe it will. There's a 2-3-2 combination. Pardon me, a 3-2-3 combination. Okay, first order business, get that stop loss order in. Come on, sellers, don't let me down. Okay, I'm going to chicken out at this point. And, stinker. I was probably too quick on that. Darn it. Look at that. Here they go. Back down to the median line. Stinkers. Scoundrels, all of them. Yeah, see, after a little hesitation, here we go back to the median line. Well, had the right idea there, even though we didn't get the follow through. Okay, we'll stay with it for just a few more minutes. Then we're going to close up shop for the morning. And there they go, right down there to the median line, right through the median line. Wow. This now a bit of a delayed reaction to the reach of the median line. Okay, got a little bit of a sideways congestion going on here. This will be my last trade attempt here this morning. We'll get a profit order down here somewhere. Okay, and get the stop loss order in. Whoa, baby. Okay, so the market moved too fast for me. I'm going to look at, okay, there we go. Back at break even. Okay, I might have got a little bit lucky on that one, even though there's probably room here for the market to move a little bit lower. Normally, when you look for these congestion periods and the trend to resume, the trend actually resumes. It doesn't enter another period of congestion, which is evident by all this candy striping going on in the background. Whew. All right, gang. I will see you again tomorrow. We'll talk to you then. Bye for now.